In the early 2000s, Nigo, legendary fashion designer and the founder of Bape, they dropped a shoe that was very clearly inspired by the Nike Air Force One. And even though the resemblance is undeniable, the shoe still stood out on its own because of the loudness and vibrancy of the colorways. And it was this shoe that introduced a lot of people that came of age during that time, especially globally, outside of Japan, that introduced them to Bape. And now 20 years later, Bape is taking notice of the chunky sole and running shoe type of trend that's been popular for the past few years. They're coming out with a brand new shoe, and it does seem to also be inspired by some other shoes from other big brands. Bape, Sharkster, USA. Now the shoe first dropped on October 5th for an astounding $379 in the United States, but that's nothing new for Bape. They've always catered to a more premium and higher price market, so not really surprised at that, but objectively still a very expensive shoe. And this is one out of the entire country pack, so the other countries and colorways include Malaysia, Indonesia, Japan, South Korea. There was a China colorway, a UK colorway, just a lot to choose from. This one specifically, it is the USA colorway. And first impressions of the shoe, I'm not a huge fan of the whole running shoe, chunky sole type of trend that's going on. Just my personal preference, never really been too much into it. I grew up with Nikes and Jordans, shoes like the Jordan 1s, 3s, 4s, 5s. Those are just kind of the shoes that I always think will look better. I think that shark pattern is actually pretty cool, but just overall as a silhouette, these kind of chunky running shoe types, it's not my favorite. And now in terms of this colorway, just not quite sure how it's like a USA themed colorway apart from that red star. This doesn't immediately scream USA. The UK colorway, even though it works for the UK, that probably works just as well for the US. So yeah, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe purple is patriotic. I don't know. But I chose the US colorway because I live in the US. Most of the people that view my videos are from the US and located here. And just in a vacuum, looking at the colors on the shoe itself, it might be a little too much for me. Like usually I prefer more subtle and easier to wear colors. Yeah, this purple and yellow especially, a little too much for me. Bape is known for their boldness and loudness of their shoes, so I'm not complaining about it. Just don't know if I'm the person that can pull this off effectively. But do want to review a wide range of shoes, so here I am. And there's a few things going on with the upper of the shoe, and on the base layer, it is mesh, and that extends all the way around the ankles, all the way up the tongue. And at the very top of the tongue, you see Bape branding, and the material on that tag feels like nubuck, with the Bape logo debossed into that material. And then on the overlays, again, a few things going on. So on the purple part of the shoe, like around the mudguard, it is nubuck, and the nubuck feels very nice. It is very smooth, feels great to the touch. But you also see patent leather on some parts of the shoe in that same purple as well. Now, I'm not a huge fan of patent leather, but it's very small amounts. And on the blue parts around the ankle collar, as well as behind the shark pattern, that is suede. And just like the nubuck, the suede is very nice to the touch as well. Feels plush, almost has like a velvet feel to it. Very nice. And then on the shark teeth itself, it is leather. That leather there isn't like the most premium type of leather. And then on the lateral side, see a little tag that is Bape branding as well. But yeah, in general, a lot of things going on the upper of the shoe, but the materials, very, very nice. Now, this shoe also comes with one extra set of black laces, black or very dark gray. But out of the two, I think I would go with the dark laces over this yellow, just the color that I feel more comfortable with. For nearly $400 though, I think they should have given us at least like 5 sets of extra laces. I think white laces would actually look pretty good, but out of these two options, going with the black. And this shoe also comes with this chrome metal-like lace tips. It's not actually metal, but it's meant to look like that. And it also has Bape branding on there. Would have liked if they custom branded the lace tips. Something to do with like the USA theme for this shoe, but yeah, just Bape branding it is. And then wrapping around to the booty of the shoe, you see Bape branding, and that is debossed into the shoe. Probably would have preferred like an embroidered part on the booty of the shoe, but debossed it is. Now the midsole of the shoe does feel like an EVA foam midsole, and EVA foam is pretty lightweight, also more responsive than like a rubber cup sole, and it's very commonly used on sneakers. And then on that star Bape branded part, that is like a very stiff piece of TPU plastic that wraps all the way around the outsole, acting like a midfoot shank. And then in the middle of the outsole, you see more Bape branding. And then on the outsole itself, it is rubber, and I won't say what this traction pattern reminds me of. Yeah, it's definitely not the first time we've seen this type of traction on a sneaker. And near the heel, you actually see that exposed foam that also has the Bape star right there. And another place you see that is at the tip of the toe box. And it comes with this decently thick insole. Feels pretty good on feet. And the shoe also comes with a shoe tree that's actually wrapped in paper. So it's like they put a condom over the shoe tree. And the box of the shoe, a very large, sturdy box, comes in this very distinct Bape branding that is this camo pattern with the Bape logo, very recognizable. It's also a pull-out box, which I really like. And it comes with a Bape shoe bag, piece of cardboard with like a warning message on the back, and Bape branding on the paper, that very distinct camo pattern as well. Now moving on to sizing and comfort, I am a wide and flat footer. No idea what size I should have got for this shoe. It's a brand new shoe, so I went true to size, and it fits me like a glove. Width-wise, it is great. Great for wide footers. You can probably tell from a bird's eye view this silhouette is decently wide, and I will say lengthwise, it pretty much is like at the tip of the toe box. So some people might not like how snug that feels. This is a rare shoe where width-wise, lengthwise, it fits my wide fat feet pretty much airtight. My recommendation would be to stick true to size, and in terms of overall comfort, it's a very comfortable shoe. I think the thickness of the insoles help a bit, and the padding all around the ankles as well as the tongue itself, just very well padded. It breaks in super quick because of that flexible, soft mesh on the toe box area, and it's a decently light shoe despite like the very chunky sole. It feels light on feet. Definitely would have no problems walking in the shoe like all day. And that brings the total sole score of the Bape Sharkster to 30 out of 40. A pretty good score compared to other general releases. Now first to this colorway. This is the USA colorway, but apart from that red star, I guess the blue as well, but that is a different shade of blue than like usual USA blue. Not quite sure how the purple and yellow fit quite in, but just in a vacuum, just looking at the colorway of the shoe itself, maybe a bit too much going on with the yellow and purple combination, but overall, a decent colorway, won't say I love it. And in terms of the materials, very, very good. For a shoe that is nearly $400, it better come with very nice materials. The suede and nubuck, it's very smooth, it's plush, gives me that velvet type of feel when I run my fingers through it. The patent leather, I don't love, just personal preference, but there's such small amounts of it on this shoe. Yeah, you will not be disappointed by the materials on the upper. And in terms of the comfort of the shoe, this is probably the highlight, in my opinion, for this shoe. It is very comfortable. It is decently light. It's not super flat to the ground like you're kind of walking on cardboard or like takeout boxes. The insoles are pretty thickly padded, and just overall around the tongue, as well as the ankle lining, very, very comfortable. And in terms of the versatility of the shoe, this thick, chunky sole trend definitely is in right now, and this kind of running shoe vibe is in as well. I don't think personally it's like the most wearable silhouette. I think it's not as timeless as like a Jordan 1 or Air Force 1. It still gives me very much like running shoe vibes. And in terms of the wearability of the colorway, it's quite a bit going on. The purple and yellow are pretty loud. So if you're not into super bold colors, that's kind of what Bape is known for, the vibrancy and the boldness of their colorways. So overall, a lot of colors, objectively, probably not the most versatile and wearable shoe, but some people are very good at pulling off like very bold and loud sneakers. I don't think I'm one of them, but if you are, this shoe is for you. Regardless of what you think about Bape's business model and strategy when it comes to footwear, their impact and influence on streetwear and fashion is undeniable. Will this shoe take off? I don't know, that remains to be seen, but what I do know is everything they do creates some type of buzz, and I'll definitely be interested to see more colorways of the shoe to be released. So that's it. Thanks for watching Sole Inclined. Let me know what you think of the Bape Sharkster USA. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come. The way of shoes.